You better not shout, you better not cry. Konami doesn't care if you've been naughty or nice. Yu-Gi-Oh! Banlist season is here.
What's going on, guys? It's Cimo. Not even 10 minutes ago did Konami just drop on us the brand new October 2019 Forbidden and Limited list. Now, this is exciting, but I don't think any of us expected this was going to happen. I was going to do Banlist Roulette today, but I didn't even get a chance to do that. I know that's a lot of your guys' favorite video, but it's okay. I think I'd rather have a ban list, and I think you guys would rather have it too. Now, I didn't get to do my own ban list prediction, so just right off the bat, I think Nightmare Mermaid's going to get banned. That card just absolutely has to go. It makes Orcus too splashable and way too many different things. I think Striker's going to get hit in some capacity. I think the Guard Dragons are going to get hit too, even though they haven't been seeing a ton of play. The Guard Dragon combo is just so silly, and the boards it can create. I think we're going to take some OCG influence from that and see a hit to either LP or Aggro Pain. I hope Aggro Pain, but honestly, either one should pretty much do it. And then maybe we'll see a hit to like Thunder Dragon Colossus, just like the OCG as well. But overall, hopefully this is going to shake things up and make things a little bit refreshed and help revitalize the format. But I do want to say, before we get into this weekend, October 12th, is Pro Play Tour Columbus, and if you are going to be attending, whatever this list says, we are going to be abiding by the brand new format, because I think it's going to be a lot more exciting to see what the new format has in store and have it be the first event of the new format. So if you're attending, just do keep that in mind. This will be going under the new format. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we can see here, effective from October 14th. So this actually means the list won't be in effect until next week. So if you're playing in a regional this upcoming weekend, it's still going to be playing under the new format, the old format, so do keep that in mind. But our event, Pro Play Tour Columbus, will go under the new list just because we want to shake things up and give you guys a good show to watch. You can watch that over on Twitch TV if you can't make it to the event. But effective from October 14th, new list is no sooner than January 13th. That's pretty late. I think that's actually after YCS Sydney, and I think it's actually before the release of Ignition Assault, which is a set after Chaos Impact, which we're getting a little bit later on in the month of October. So we're going to have this list for quite some time, so hopefully this shakes things up enough that people will be happy with it until January. We'll just have to see. Nothing here right to start, so I guess that's a good thing, but let's go ahead and scroll down and see what we got. Again, I don't think anything really needs to be banned too much. Oh, there, Guard Dragon Aggro Pain. There we go. So, again, I definitely think this was warranted. Again, even though the Guard Dragons weren't exactly that prominent in the current metagame, if other things got checked, the Guard Dragons would just come back and emerge once again, and we'd be dealing with these ridiculous boards that we're already dealing with. I think Aggro Pain definitely has to go. Or at least one of them. I mean, honestly, I think Aggro Pain's the better one, because if you hit LP, you could still do the combo with, like, Pisty, even though LP tutors from the deck, so it's a little bit easier. I don't think that matters, though, too much. I think Aggro Pain going is the correct hit, and even though, again, like I said, it's not the most, like, impactful hit at the moment, I think people would have kind of went back to the Guard Dragons if a lot of the other decks get checked on this list. So that's a good one there. Let's go. Oh, Nightmare Mermaid. Okay, so we're already 2 for 2. That's pretty good. Nightmare Mermaid, again, Orcus was being splashed into like every single deck. I mean, we had Lunalight Orcus, we had Danger Orcus, or excuse me, we had Spiral Orcus, we had Cyber Dragon Orcus. And with Nightmare Mermaid being banned, you don't have that piece anymore that's going to allow you to access the Orcus engine. Orcus can still be played in its own deck, and I think that's perfectly fine, but now you're not going to be able to just splash like a Harpour or a Symbol Skeleton and a couple Nightmares into your deck, because now you're not going to have access to that Orcus combo anymore, giving you that like second or third line of play if your first line of play gets stopped. And honestly, I think that's a good thing moving forward. I don't think Orcus in itself is inherently unfair, but I think when you're splashing it into other decks that already have other game plans, and that's like your fallback, the Orcus combo becomes a very strong like string 3 plan if you're going to incorporate it into your deck. So a lot of people are probably going to be happy to see that go. Definitely will bring down the amount of Orcus being played in the format, but I definitely still think, well, until we see what else the rest of the list has, I think it's going to still be pretty decent at that. So scrolling through the list, we don't really have nothing in Synchros or Xyz either. Okay. No, nothing in the spells. Okay, and nothing in the trap. Okay, so I think this is fine. I don't think we really need to see a ton of bans necessarily. I think Mermaid was like the glaring one, and then Aggro Pain was like the kind of the secondary hit that needed to happen. But I don't think people were really clamoring for anything else to get banned in this particular instance. But let's see what the limits have. Hopefully there's a lot of impact here, because this could definitely dictate things moving forward. So Let's see what we got. Wow, nothing in the effect monsters. Okay. Nothing there. This is weird. Okay, so we're probably going to see something in the spells. I hope, Sky Striker. You better have something on here. Nothing yet. That's a bit concerning. Sky Striker Widow Anchor. Okay. So Widow Anchor's at what? There's no engage on here, though. Okay, so 1 Widow Anchor. What does that do for the deck? Well, you have 1 multi-roll and 1 Kagari, and so those are the highest points of recursion for your deck. So the fact that now you have Widow Anchor not being able to be recycled continuously with something like an active multi-roll, that's pretty big, because being able to get multiple anchors back and being able to continuously recycle those over and over again, that was pretty big, because that's where a lot of the power of your deck came from, because anchor not only negates the effects of the monsters, it also takes them, which means your opponent can't link off with them or do any other plays with them, and that was a very strong aspect of Widow Anchor. So now that you only have 1, yeah, you still have 3 engage, but, like, what are you really going to be searching? Like, yeah, you can get, like, your Eagle Booster and stuff and your Shark Cannons, but 1 Widow Anchor is a really, really strong hit. Now, I don't think Striker's unplayable with 1 Widow Anchor. They only have 2 Anchor in Japan, but they also have 2 engage. That's interesting. I think... I don't know. I have to see the rest of the list, because maybe there's something else I can help put it into context, but, like, 1 Anchor is very significant, but I don't think it's like a nail in the coffin. Let's see what else is on the list. Is that it? Oh. Okay, so no other hits on the only limitation is Widow Anchor. That's odd. Okay. Let's see what else there is, and then we'll talk about this, all together. Was limited, Dark Arm Dragon. Okay, so Dark Arm Dragon's at 3 in the OCG. It just went on their last list. This kind of causes some PTSD for some people, myself included, who used to play back in the day. I think this is fine. This probably could have gone to 3. I don't really see decks abusing Dark Arm Dragon being at 3. Like, it's not once per turn, but, like, destroying and targeting in 2019, not the strongest, and, like, you have to be playing an all-dark deck, which, yeah, some exist, dangers exist, things like that, but, like, there's so many better cards now that you could play instead of Dad. I think that's fine. I don't really think that's going to be a big deal. I noticed that there's a lot of cards missing from the semi-limited list, because they put a lot of cards to semi-limited last list, and now there's only like 6 left. So I'm happy that they're shrinking this down, but there's going to be a lot of cards on the unlimited. So, okay, let's scroll down. No longer limited. Okay, Chaos Emperor Dragon, Destiny Hero Malicious. So Chaos Emperor Dragon's fine, no one's playing it anyway. Malicious is interesting because even though Mermaid is banned, so that kind of goes for the Warrior Orcus decks, Warrior still has his Zold, which is very good. So if Warrior still has some way to abuse that, that's very good, because Malicious going to 3 I think is very good for that deck. But again, you have to have some sort of win condition to make Malicious worth abusing, if that makes sense. And I'm not sure if that deck necessarily has that. We'll just have to see. We have Aether, the Heavenly Monarch. 3 Aether is cool, but we still need Pantheism to 3, but slowly but surely we're getting the pieces back of the Monarch deck, so that's pretty cool. Elemental Hero Stratos, it looks like. Yep, Stratos is back, so at 3 for that matter. Pretty cool to see that and Malicious be both back at 3, but again, no one is really playing heroes, so like, yeah, it's nice if you play heroes, cool, but like, it's not like, it's not going to break the format or anything. Dragonfly going to 3. No one was playing Inzectors when it was at 2, so it can go to 3. Notice how with all the things being semi-limited, apart from like Malicious, no one was playing the cards anyway, so they could have just gone to 3 and been perfectly fine. What else? Shuret going to 3. That's pretty good if you're playing Nekroz, but like again, that's not going to make Nekroz a tier 1 deck, but it's cool that, the deck continuously gets cards back, so I think that's perfectly fine. Nice little consistency boost there. Construct going to 3. No one was playing Construct, maybe in like very niche scenarios, but most people just play Window and they play Shaddoll Fusion because it's infinitely better. But Construct going to 3, people like to see it. Royal Tribute going to 3. Again, no one was playing Gravekeepers because Royal Tribute was at 2, so that's perfectly fine. Super Rejuvenation's at 3. Okay, so if you play Dragon Rulers, you know why this card's banned. If you've heard of Dragon Rulers, you know why this card's banned. Can this card be abused now? Ooh, that's a bit of an iffy. I think this is fine. I don't think this can be abused nearly as much as it used to be back like during Dragon Ruler format. I really hope not, because they put this from Forbidden to 3. How come they put put that from 0 to 3, but all these other cards that have no impact guaranteed, they put from 1 to 2 to... That just... whatever. Anyway... I'm a little bit iffy about that one because I don't know if that's going to have any impact. That's a very, very strong card, but again, it needs a very specific deck to facilitate it. Are they trying to push Dragon Link? Oh god, oh man, I just thought about that. So in Chaos Impact, we're going to be getting Striker Dragon. Ooh, if that's how they're trying to put... I don't know if that matters. I really don't know if that matters, but that's just something I thought about. That could be actually very terrifying. Okay, but anyway, let's go ahead and go back to the top here. So overall, where does this kind of leave that? Where does this leave everything? Well, the top meta decks. Orcus was one of the best decks. Mermaid's banned, but that doesn't really matter unless your deck incorporated it. So like, again, Lunalight Orcus, Cyber Dragon Orcus, you know, Pendulum Orcus. There's so many different decks that play the Orcus engine. It affects those decks, but regular Orcus is just fine. You know, Dingirsu didn't get hit, and Galatea didn't get hit, nothing like that. So Orcus is still fine. Sky Striker got 1 Widow Anchor, but I still think the deck's playable, so like, is that going to be enough? Are we going to have another 3 months of Striker being one of the best decks, even with a single Widow Anchor? We've already gone through 3 lists, and the deck's still one of the best decks, so we'll see. Salamangreat didn't get touched. Thunder Dragon didn't get touched. All the other decks didn't get touched either, which, to be fair, I think apart from maybe a Colossus limitation, I don't think they needed to get hit. I think the rest of these decks were actually perfectly fine, but we didn't get, like, anything crazy back. Like, we didn't get a Harpy's Feather Duster. We didn't get, like, any, like, wow factor, you know, and we didn't get, like, anything off the Forbidden List that's gonna really have a huge impact that kind of, like, was for that shock value, you know? So overall, I'm a little bit disappointed by this list because I'm not sure if it's going to have like the greatest impact. I feel like we're still going to be seeing the same decks at the top. Granted, this allows some of the other non-Orcus decks to have a chance because now you're not going to be seeing every deck playing an Orcus combo, which is fine, but I think it's going to help just create the diverse format that we want without being precluded by all these Orcus strategies running amok. So that's, I think, a good thing, but it's still going to be a lot of the same top decks we've been seeing. We'll have to see with Chaos Impact how that affects things, because yes, we do have Striker Dragon coming out. We have the Dragon Cypher card, which also helps facilitate Dragon Link. Dragon Link could be a thing, and maybe Super Rejuvenation helps that, but we'll just have to see. I'm not sure, but ultimately, I think this is like an okay list. It's not like incredible or anything like the one we had previously, but I think it's okay. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to like the video as always. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content. And if you found this video entertaining, consider supporting me on Patreon or becoming a YouTube channel member. Because just by showing your support in any way that you can, you're investing in my ability to continue bringing you amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content. So thanks so much again, and we'll see you next time.